The Axeman of New Orleans. The Axeman of New Orleans was an unidentified serial killer active in New Orleans, Louisiana, and surrounding communities from May 1918 to October 1919. The Axeman's attacks were characterized by a distinctive modus operandi, the use of an axe that often belonged to the victims themselves, and the preference for targeting Italian-American grocers and their families. The case remains one of the most mysterious and chilling in American criminal history, marked by a mixture of brutality and eerie letters sent to the press. Background: New Orleans, in the early 20th century, was a bustling port city with a diverse population, including a significant Italian-American community. The city was no stranger to violence, but the string of murders attributed to the Axeman brought a new level of fear and fascination. The murders. The Axeman's first known attack occurred on May 23, 1918, when Joseph Maggio, a grocer, and his wife, Catherine, were brutally assaulted in their home. Both were killed with an axe that was left at the scene, and a panel on the back door of their house had been chiseled out, presumably to allow the killer to enter. Over the next year and a half, the Axeman continued his spree, attacking several more victims, often in the middle of the night. His typical method involved breaking into homes through a door panel, using an axe found at the scene to inflict devastating injuries, and then disappearing without a trace. Victims who survived the attacks often could not provide useful descriptions of the assailant, further complicating the investigation. Notable incidents. June 28, 1918, Louis Bezumer and his mistress, Harriet Lowe, were attacked in the early morning hours. Both survived, although Harriet Lowe later died from her injuries. Louis Bezumer was initially suspected but was eventually released. August 5, 1918, Mrs. Anna Schneider, who was 8 months pregnant, was attacked in her sleep. She survived and gave birth to a healthy child 2 days later. Her husband, who was not home at the time, found her bleeding and unconscious but still alive. March 10, 1919, the Cordemelia family was attacked in their home in Gretna, a suburb of New Orleans. Charles and Rosie Cordemelia survived, but their 2-year-old daughter, Mary, was killed. Rosie initially accused a neighbor, but later recanted. The infamous letter. On March 13, 1919, a letter purportedly from the Axeman was published in local newspapers. The letter, addressed to esteemed mortal, taunted the public and law enforcement, claiming that the Axeman would spare anyone playing jazz music in their homes on a specific night. This led to a citywide jazz playing event, with dance halls and homes filled with music in an effort to ward off the killer. The end of the murders. The last known attack attributed to the Axeman occurred on October 27, 1919, when Mike Pepitone was killed in his home. His wife, Esther, found him mortally wounded, but no one saw the attacker. After this, the murder suddenly stopped, and the Axeman was never heard from again. Investigation and theories. The police investigated numerous suspects and theories, but none led to definitive conclusions. Theories about the Axeman's identity included a vengeful mobster, a deranged serial killer, or even someone with a vendetta against the Italian-American community. Despite extensive efforts, the case went cold. Cultural impact. The Axeman of New Orleans left a lasting mark on the city's culture and history. The case has been the subject of numerous books, articles, and even a segment in the television series American Horror Story. The fear and fascination surrounding the Axeman's reign of terror reflect broader themes of urban anxiety, ethnic tension, and the challenges of early 20th century criminal investigations. Conclusion. As we explore the case of the Axeman of New Orleans on True Crime, we will delve into the detailed timeline of events, the investigation, and the broader societal implications of this terrifying period. Join us as we examine the evidence, the impact on the community, and the ongoing debates about the identity and motives of the Axeman. The story of the Axeman of New Orleans serves as a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of history and the enduring quest for justice in the face of unsolved crimes.